Dude 79, just doing a quick mic check. If you're watching and you can hear us, please let us know if you can hear us loud and clear.
Hello. We'll be live shortly.
We'll be live in just a moment. Thank you so much for waiting. Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude 79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboy Tone. Mr. Fanboy Tone, how's it going today, buddy?
It is going well. It is going good. It is going fine. And how are you?
I'm getting drunk, apparently.
Getting drunk.
We had some extra beers tonight.
Oops.
So by the end of the show, should be pretty shit-faced.
Hey.
There's Zombie. What's going on, girl?
What up?
Cappadocian's in the chat. What's happening? Yeah, man, I'm just excited to do a show. You kind of talked about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those days where, you know, I'm kind of having a crazy day at work. You know, we got all sorts of uncertainty flying around, dude, everything that's going on. You hate your job most days.
Yeah.
You know, but the one thing that gets me really excited, Banter and Babble.
Always.
I love being able to get here every other Wednesday, sit down, have some beers, talk about all the shit that I love that, honestly, it takes my mind off work and stuff like that. Games, movies, TV shows, wrestling, all that shit. Stuff that just allows me to kind of escape that dull life I call work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. At the very least, I'm getting drunk.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, you get drunk. It doesn't matter.
A
You
couple
get drunk
times a
every
week.
night.
Yeah, whatever.
Literally, it's
Functioning.
just no
I'm
different
functioning. Don't worry
than
about my
any other
business.
night over the last
Don't blast me out there like that.
6 months or
Don't
so.
blast me.
Anyways, yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about
Yeah.
tonight. A lot of great stuff to talk about. We got a couple movies we want to talk about. We've got some games we want to talk about. Some cool shit in the game world that you saw this week. I know you're hyped about. Really, really hyped about. Watching mobile from my hammock. Oh, nice cap.
Wearing a banana hammock, I hope too.
Wearing a banana hammock,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
And we got some wrestling news we're going to talk about.
Yes, we do.
We're going to talk a little wrestling tonight. So we got a nice plethora of assortment of topics to discuss. But first, as always, what are we drinking tonight, buddy?
Well, the main course tonight is this beautiful, tasty blueberry maple stout with a sweet-looking lumberjack. I love the label of this one. From Sagatuck Brewing Company here in good old Michigan. 6.0% alcohol.
Oh,
Delicious. A little sweeter for a stout, but definitely you get that blueberry and that buttery kick, and it's pretty enjoyable.
I was going to say, it's sweet, but that finish is really just very tasty.
It's always about that finish.
Big fan. Yeah, big fan of the shirt. Big fan of the shirt, Zombie. I love this shirt. I never played Fallout 4 completely, but I bought so many Fallout shirts.
Weird, he never finished a game.
I know, shocking, because Destiny. I blame Destiny. Anytime I don't finish a game, it's Destiny.
True.
That's what I do. I blame it. I blame Destiny for everything.
Blame Destiny.
But now, this isn't the only... This is the spotlight.
So this is the spotlight tonight. Well, is it, though, is the question. Because I'll be honest with you,
we haven't drank it
this
yet.
feller here, this is, you can see it, Fudge Kruger. This is an oatmeal stout. It's an imperial stout, apparently, too, which is weird. It's like $14 a 4-pack. Right out of Holland, Michigan. It is Big Lake Brewing. As you can see, there's definitely Freddy Krueger on the front of it. I wonder how they got the rights for that. I'm not going to ask. Got Elm Street and everything on it. But he's got a little piece of chocolate in his claw, which is pretty sweet.
Yes.
But and here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of stouts. That's my favorite by nature. Oatmeal stouts in particular is a couple I can think of that I really like. This really blew me away. This is one of those kind of stouts where it's a thinner stout because like this stout already feels heavier to me than what Fred Krueger is here or Fudge Krueger. So it's nice. It's creamy. It's thin, which means if it's thinner, it's a little bit lighter. It's a little smoother,
right?
And kind of milky. But also got that oatmeal kick and that chocolate kick. So there's a lot going on with this, and this is the one that's new to me, and I'm excited about it. Very excited about it. I had it the other night and I was really enjoying it. So, but it's got some alcohols in it. Yeah, it doesn't list it on here, but it's an imperial, which means it usually hits that 9 to 12 threshold.
Great. So I'll be shit faced by the end of the show. Awesome. Can't wait. Can't wait. First off, before we get into some news that we want to discuss regarding the last show we did, we're doing a giveaway tonight, dude.
We are doing a giveaway tonight.
Doing another giveaway. We are now down to 4.
Speaking of the man himself there on the Facebook side of it.
Oh, there he is.
We do. You're right on that, Z. I just noticed that.
Yeah, we do need a mod. We need a mod on Twitch, and you have that power now. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that through here. I would love to give you that power right now, Zombie. I would love to give you that power. But unfortunately, Mix It Up just isn't that cool. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I appreciate you.
We're getting over to that Stream Elements soon, though.
Yeah, we're going to be working on that Stream Elements. But Paul King, he's in the chat. What's going on?
Yes, Fet's here. So we got Fet's. We're going to get into a little bit of what's going on with him later in the episode as well. But as you can see, there are 4 pop figures left for that giveaway tonight. Yes. If you're in the mixer side of it, we're going to be doing that !enter as well for that. Starting pretty quick here, depending on when you want to start it.
I will start the giveaway right... Oh. And it didn't save anything. Awesome, bro.
Hang on. Get 1 second, guys, on that enter. We brokes it. We brokes it. But yeah, as you see, we got that Notorious B.I.G. there, which is a very awesome pop as well, too. That Elton John. That Deku. Midoriya. My personal favorite, that Toys R Us R.I.P. Moss Man. Oh, yeah, Moss Man.
All right, so hopefully this works. It should.
Check.
Should work. Everything should be there. Okay, there we go. Good.
Save.
And this is here. No, I can't save this. I thought I could. But I guess I can't. But anyways, no, not yet. Hold on, zombie. I gotta start it. I gotta start it first, you guys.
Yelling, everybody.
Slow down, y'all. I know y'all want to win. I want one of you to win. I gotta make sure this works. Fudge. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Reminder every 10 minutes. Then every 5. All right.
It's a hot mess. All right, 60 minutes. There we go. And
there we go. There you go.
Give her a shot. Now you
Exclamation point, enter to join.
I'm prematurely
join the contest to win a pop figure of your choice. Again, as Tom mentioned, Notorious B.I.G., Mossman, Deku, and Elton John are the remaining options.
You ever see the Rocket Man movie?
I have not.
Oh, man.
I really have to.
Fucking awesome.
I really have to see that.
Good.
Tricky Regents in the chat tonight. What's
What up,
going on,
Trick?
Tricky? Glad you can be here, buddy. Appreciate it.
Tricky.
But yeah, we'll be running this all night for about an hour. We'll draw a winner later on in the show. And make sure if you are here and you do win, you have to be here to hit exclamation point claim.
That's right.
That's how you have to claim it.
That is correct.
Exclamation point claim. So
that BIG so damn bad. All right.
Oh, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll win and I'll take it, zombie. Think about that.
Well, Prime ain't here tonight, so luckily he can't steal any giveaway.
I know, right?
Tricky eyeballing that too.
Tricky's in. Oh man,
Like
I would pay to see that fight.
I would totally.
My money's on zombie.
Yeah.
Tricky's a nice guy, and he's got just an epic beard. I mean, if I saw Tricky, I'd walk in and be like, I don't want to fuck with him, but zombie will whoop his ass.
Everybody wants it.
Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. Whoop his ass. Zombie's been to prison.
True.
So there you go, Tricky. Top that, dude. Top that.
Shank you, Tricky.
Next thing we want to talk about briefly is last week we covered a lot of the PlayStation 5 titles that were revealed at the PlayStation 5 event. One of the things that we saw was Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And Sony executives do what Sony executives do best, and that's fuck up the message and not give everyone an idea of what this is. The biggest thing that people took from this, the biggest concern was that this was going to be a remaster of the original Spider-Man, and this Miles Morales would be included with it. So a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, do I have to buy the whole game again?
Right.
Or are they going to give us this and then, we pay extra for Miles Morales? Like, how is that going to work? So we got into that discussion that I think Sony needs to have at some point. Are they going to have a smart delivery system? And Sony actually did announce today it's up to the publisher if they want to do, upgrade to the PS5.
Is it up to the publisher?
It is now up to the publisher. So they're not doing a Microsoft smart delivery approach.
Okay.
They're saying it's up to the publisher. But EA, shockingly, came out this week and said, if you buy Madden on PS4, you get it for PS5. No charge.
So because smart delivery is actually I think that's a fair thing because we're going to do next.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the expectations is it's not PS1 to PS2 these days. It's not PS2 to PS3. It's an entirely different generation of, first of all, entitled people.
Right.
Second of all, we live in a highly digital world, and third of all, games are huge in Hollywood now. There's a lot more going on. So smart delivery system, for all intents and purposes, is very honestly very fair to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
My question would be, why isn't Sony just doing that and saying, because what they're doing is they're passing the buck. They're saying, oh, it's on the publisher.
Yep.
Because Sony has first-party titles that are pretty big. If you buy something like Ghost of Tsushima, or I know that some of that stuff's supposed to be compatible with PS5 as well too, but like that almost makes it seem like that it's not even really a priority on their radar to a degree if they're saying, oh, it's up to the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not somebody that plays old stuff, but I'm just saying, just fucking do it.
Right. So, but what this is, Spider-Man Miles Morales is a standalone game. Does not include the original Spider-Man. It is a standalone experience, much like Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Right.
Which was just a completely separate thing. But the cool thing about this is built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5. This is going to be a showcase title.
Okay, so is that part of it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. This is built for the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a standalone title, so it's going to showcase all the things they talked about that was supposed to be better with the original Spider-Man that, would have benefited from using the PS5. Right. So, standalone title. We don't have a price. I'm guessing it's going to be $40. If it's a standalone like Lost Legacy, which wasn't a full game, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot to do, but I don't know. We don't know the pricing yet. We don't know how long this game is supposed to be.
Right.
But the message has finally been cleared up. This is a standalone title. Does not include the original Spider-Man. and this is built for the PS5. So there you go. Message is clear. Only took a week and a half. And
Right.
the first person to break the story, Jason Schreier.
Go figure.
Jason Schreier, that's just what he does, man. Jason Schreier just breaks stories. That's all he does. He gets the nitty gritty, finds out what's really going on, while Jim Ryans of the world are like, when he's trying to explain something. Like, you're an idiot, dude.
Right. I forgot my tie. I've got a collar.
It's baffling. So at least we got that square. We wanted to make sure we brought that to you because last week we kind of, I don't think we reported it incorrectly, but we just we were kind of like in the air, like, what is this?
I think we were all asking. You may have reported it wrong. I certainly didn't, but I'm hoping that it's around like a $40 game, $40 title. I'm guess, 15, 20 hours maybe. So, yeah. So who?
Fetz is in the house, guys. Fetz is over on Facebook. Make sure you check him out on Facebook at Fetz Toy Depot.
Yes,
he's got a Facebook page. Go over there and check it out. We're able to run this contest due to our partnership with him. We really appreciate him allowing us to give away some of these these Funko Pops. Make sure you check out his Facebook page. If you live in the Saginaw area or in the Tri-City area, he's right over on Gratiot Road.
Yep,
got a pretty good setup over there.
Brick and mortar now too, and we've got a sweet announcement later on this evening. Later on in the cast about sweet little partnership he's done locally as well too for everybody that lives locally and want to go do something cool some night. So he's making moves and we appreciate him. And yes, check out his brick and mortar, but more importantly, get on that Facebook. You need stuff you collect, you need pops, you need toys, you need action figures. Maybe you need a friend. That's the guy.
That's the guy right there.
That's the guy right there.
Appreciate you, buddy. All right. I think we talked. I think we touched on everything we wanted to touch on pre-show. We got our drinks.
Like me? Touching on me?
I'm not touching you, you fucking pervert. Gee, now after I drink this, all bets are off. I have no idea.
That better be next. Yeah, get that next.
You nasty twit. All right. So we're gonna jump into some movie talk.
Yes.
We've seen a couple of movies over the last couple of weeks. Two of them that we really want to talk about, and we're gonna start off with the one that we just watched recently, and this is The Five Bloods from Spike Lee. And let me tell you something, y'all. I know it's difficult for some of these Netflix titles or any of these streaming titles to get mentioned at Oscar time. There's some stuff here that deserves that recognition. Okay. First of all, we're not going to spoil anything for you. We're not going to get deep into the story. We'll talk about just kind of like how the movie impacted us, what we took from it. We'll talk about some of the performances. We'll talk about the way Spike Lee just, unlike anybody else, is able to deliver messaging through his movies and give you a perspective on social issues that need to be addressed or that are going on right now or that are relevant now. And off the top of them, right away, I have to say this movie's amazing. It's really, really good.
It's one of the best movies I've seen this year.
It's a great movie. The story is really, really engaging. Mm-hmm. It's basically about these four Vietnam veterans. They're heading back to Vietnam to find the remains of their fallen comrade. But there's more to the story. One of their final mission together, they had to go in and retrieve some material, some items from a downed plane behind enemy lines. Turns out the item they're retrieving is a huge case of gold that is being delivered from the U.S. government to the people of Hanoi, I think it was. And so while they're out there, they're like, look, man, we got to get our friend. He was left out there. They want to bring him back home, give him a proper burial, bring him back home to his family. These guys were a close group. I mean, the Bloods. That's a group, and they've been together for a long time. And so the story is they go back to Vietnam to retrieve their body of their friend, also to get that gold and to get out.
And this is like, what, 40 years after?
Yeah,
right?
This is like 30 or 40 years
like
after
60
Vietnam.
years
Yeah,
old,
they're old.
50, 60 years, yeah, whatever.
These guys are old.
Yeah.
And what happens from there is, you have this, this kind of like this rescue mission story, but there is so much more going on. There's so much more to this story. It talks about, the struggles of black people, prior to the Vietnam War and just about any war. They're promised by the government, hey, go fight for this, go fight for us, and you'll be promised your freedom, and you'll be celebrated and whatnot. And that never happened. They struggled with that, and the way that they really dive into that in this movie is really impressive, and it's all because it's all run through Delroy Lindo, and Delroy Lindo is an amazing actor. Okay, he's the showpiece. I mean, there's good performances all around. Everyone's good, but Delroy Lindo is the one that really conveys the message that Spike Lee is trying to deliver here. He's obviously, when you first see him in the movie, Tone, he's clearly unhinged. You know,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he's got PTSD. He's dealing with he's got a dysfunctional relationship with his son. You know, and we don't really know his whole story, but you just know he is on edge. But the thing that I love about this movie and his performance is the way Spike Lee gives me perspective, an idea of why he's like this, why he's so angry. You know, and you know, I'll get into that in a moment, but I just want to get your thoughts quickly about the movie itself before we get into all that.
I didn't know really for sure what to expect of the movie, honestly, and right off the get, you know, see these, it jumps right in. You know, these 4 older dudes are ex-soldiers or veterans. They're back in Vietnam, and you know, you start folding out why they're there, and it starts, you know, originally to go get their friend, and then it starts really kind of like coming out why and what's going on, and like there's more.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're watching, like you're starting to see individual, like I really liked Otis the medic. Like
Yes.
there's a lot about him
Otis
I
is
really
an
liked, because
awesome
he had a really
character.
unique background story.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing, you know, kind of what's going on with him, because really, like what's his face again? I can't think of his name. You just
Delroy Lindo.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up being the kind of like centerpiece. At first I think it's going to be Otis's character,
right, exactly,
or that
yep.
character. It's almost kind of like, it reminds me of like Dark Knight. Like there's never like a main guy necessarily for a while.
Yep.
There's almost like side, you know, so there's a lot going on with all that. It's like all these developments and character, and like I was like not sure how it was going to what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to thought here where exactly the story was going to go, because like, for instance, if you're familiar with the movie Three Kings,
oh my god,
I thought it was going to be kind of like that. Three Kings is kind of more of like, it's a good movie, but it's like a little bit more campy.
Yeah.
This movie, and I should have known, ended up being a little bit more emotional. Like you end up getting really tied into these characters.
Yep.
And when you start seeing Chadwick's character and some of the artsiness, and like they would call back to the actual Vietnam time period for stuff, and like the bars would change and stuff like that. You know, like
Yep.
And you know, you're like, okay, so this is like kind of like a from the past or whatever, you know, from years ago. And then, you know, the bars would change. Like, so there was this really unique art form that Spike Lee was doing as well too,
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was, it kind of drew you in, because you're kind of like, oh, okay, more background story, or this is that there, you know, and Chadwick's talking and stuff like that, and you're starting to get like, okay, so you're trying to piece everything together.
Mm-hmm.
But just when you start piecing stuff together,
mm-hmm.
it throws you for a loop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like there's very little things, like there's some stuff that's predictable and campy stuff, because all movies are going to have them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but this was different. Like or Spike managed to like kind of keep you guessing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and stuff like that. And you can feel, you felt like, man, these guys are real tight. There's a lot of tight, like these guys have nonstop communicated since Vietnam. Like these guys are literally brothers, you know? And there's a whole lot going on there. So, you know, I just felt like at the end of the day, like like your emotions would be here, and by the end of certain acts, or so you'd be way over here. Like you were moving all over. And by the time you get to the movie, you're like, I was completely like, man, I didn't see that coming. Wow, this is crazy. This turned into this. It got way more actiony. I thought there's different characters and like so much pulling into it.
Right.
I mean, it was just like, it was nothing like I thought I would expect going into this movie, whether it be like Apocalypse Now, you know, or whatever. It completely shocked me every corner.
See, the thing I like about Spike Lee movies and what he does as a director is like he can tackle these heady themes. He can talk about these issues that need to be talked about, but he's got kind of like this underlying humor that kind of comes into play. There's some things that you're just like laughing at, because I think what he does is he finds like how ridiculous some of these issues are. They're serious matters.
Yeah.
Where you just laugh because you're just wondering like, how did we get to this point?
Right.
How did we get to this point? And so that's some of the things that I think he does, because it's ludicrous when the way he presents it. These situations, you're like, man, this is really fucking stupid. I can't believe this is how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even the characters, and like in hindsight, like I would love to pick his brain about the character I'm gonna forget what was his name in the movie because I'm gonna forget his
Paul?
real name. Yeah, Paul.
Yep. Delroy Lindo.
This
Paul,
is a black man wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like, I did not expect that, but
And so
which was a very interesting. Like, it was a very interesting take the entire time. Like everything about it.
And see, I think what makes that interesting is because the one thing that was always, and this is not getting political, but this is just based on what we've seen before, is like a lot of the people that support the MAGA movement are people that want change, that feel, the overthrow the establishment, so to speak. That was like
very overly emotional.
And when you take a look at Paul as a character, he's been oppressed his entire life. Okay, he's been oppressed. He goes to Vietnam to fight for a country that doesn't want him, that doesn't love him, that just treats him like shit.
Comes back, same shit.
Comes back from that, loses his wife. And then more shit and then you start to see he's just had a shitty life in this country. It's been just bullshit. That's why he wants change.
Right.
He wants to overthrow things. And what better way to do that? I'm going to vote for this. I'm going to support this because that was the whole selling point. Overthrow the establishment, start over, do something different.
Drain the swamp.
And I mean, look, I get that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me because it doesn't make sense to me because I haven't been through all that shit. But the life that Paul's gone through makes total sense. And the whole story, it's just the way it plays out, the way these characters, and you can tell all these guys have had different experiences with life since they've left Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
You got one guy who was a successful car salesman, or it appears to be that way.
Right.
Another guy is doing this, another guy is doing that, and it's just Paul is the one that's just not recovered. But again, I don't want to get into spoilers. You find out why one of the bigger reasons that he is the way that he is, and it's explored later. Right, exactly. And so you get into that, but it's just, man, his performance, man. I was telling you before the show, Delroy Lindo, before this movie came out, before he had this opportunity to really show his range and his talent to command the screen, I always thought of Delroy Lindo as a John Malkovich in movies. He'd show up, has a distinct voice, a unique delivery, and commands the scene.
Very personal. Yeah, this personality.
Yeah, he's got that. He's able to take charge of a scene, and you just remember, oh, shit, John Malkovich is in this. Oh, shit, Delroy Lindo's in this. Yeah, I remember he's got some awesome scenes. That's always what Delroy Lindo has been, but he's never had a great opportunity in terms of the material to really, in a fleshed out character, to really go crazy and do his thing. Like I said, every movie I've ever seen him in, solid. The Last Castle with Robert Redford and James Gandolfini. He has a small part as a general. Awesome. Good role. It's a good spot for him. I was like, man, he's really good in this movie. Congo, not a great movie.
God, he was in that.
He's got a cool scene. Stop eating my sesame cake. Like, he goes off on Tim Curry. It's hilarious.
Funny.
It's a bad movie, but he's reliable. He's always reliable. It doesn't matter if the movie's good, if the movie's bad. Delroy Lindo always is committed and is great in his roles. Now he finally gets a role where he can really make use of his skill set, and he's incredible. I mean, he's strong throughout this entire movie. There's a moment where he looks into the camera, a whole sequence, a monologue, where he's talking like basically to God and to us, the viewer, and to the government. And I mean, and just his performance, he's so fucking convincing.
Yeah,
like it's like you have a great scene when the actor is looking into your face, and you don't blink, you don't say anything. You just take in what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And when a guy can reach into your soul and grab you like that, that's a fucking performance of a lifetime. He is incredible in this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone else is good. He's incredible.
No, he absolutely shined. And that character, I feel like, is one of those kind of things, again, like, are there people that could have done that character? Sure, probably, maybe, probably think of a couple. I think having somebody like him, who's kind of almost this like B actor maybe, or whatever ranking you want to give him, who's never had the chance to do that, and then do it really well. Honestly, if this movie doesn't win any awards, that's bullshit. And if he doesn't win a reward for supporting actor or something,
no, I'm not even talking supporting. He deserves a lead.
Yeah, like it's that good. Like it's really that good.
Yeah, no, he chews up every scene that he's in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, man, like for the way the movie starts, you think to yourself as you're watching things unfold and these characters interact, you thinking to myself, I was like, okay, he must be the bad guy here. He's gonna be the bad guy. But by the time you get to the end of the movie, and you understand his character, and you understand how complex he is, and how flawed he is, and how much he has struggled through life, you're just like, damn, dude, I get why he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah, then you realize, shades of gray, man.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone in the movie has their opportunity to shine. Some of the supporting cast is really, really good. Jean Reno showed up in this movie.
Out of nowhere,
Leon the Professional. That's
how I call him ever.
Leon the Professional.
What's his name other than that?
It's a great cast. The guy's name escapes me, but the guy that was in Richard Jewell, I want to say it's Paul something. He's in it. He's got a very small role. I think this might have been before
Saginaw.
He's from Saginaw.
Right,
he's from Saginaw. Yep. So I mean, you guys, if you get us, it's 2.5 hours, but it's 2.5 hours that goes by like this.
It's again. It's all over the place on the emotional scale.
Yep.
Like you get a lot of feels. You get a lot of on edge. There's a lot going on with this, and at the end of the day, there's more than one message I think in it.
A lot of messages.
There's some art direction that I thought was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That Spike Lee did. You'll know when you see it. And then definitely the call outs to like when they say historical figures and they switch to a screen and. I know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There is some tough stuff to see. There are a couple of things that they show you that are very gritty. But I mean that's what that shit was back in Vietnam, man. It was gritty. You saw horrible things. And it's a movie that'll throw some of those in your face when you're not expecting it, and it can be a little jarring at first. But man, I watched that movie and it was just Spike Lee just has a way of making you want to be a better person and making you want to realize the dreams that Martin Luther King had about America and what America could be if people just fucking loved one another.
Yeah.
If people just fucking treated each other nice and didn't see color and just saw people. Spike Lee has a way to really just emphasize that, and he focuses on all of the history, and there's some great scenes with Martin Luther King giving speeches that are very powerful, and it's just all tied into a package, man, where you're just like, we got to do better.
Yep. There's a lot. It's an amazing flick. Like I said, it's one of the best movies I've seen this year. One
of the things I want to address in this movie, it's been criticized. I saw it on social media. We talked about it before the show. There are scenes that we talk about where they do flashbacks. And it's really cool. They go from the full screen, widescreen,
yeah, it's awesome,
4K movie, and it shrinks down to like that old school, gritty, grainy film footage of like war. And they go back to war, and Chadwick Boseman is there, and so you see these scenes. But the one thing is, all the guys are the same age, like they're all old in these scenes. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is bullshit. How am I supposed to believe that Delroy Lindo is 70 years old and he's in there fighting?" And it's just like, okay, hold on, just think about it for a second. And at first I was like, this is interesting. I wonder why they didn't de-age them. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, they probably could have de-aged them. We saw it's done in The Irishman. It's a big thing now. De-age people, make them look younger. So I did some research, and Spike Lee actually talked about this. And it's interesting the reason he chose that. There's two reasons.
Right.
One, cheaper. He's got a budget. He doesn't have infinite money. It's Netflix. I mean, they got money, but it costs a lot of money to de-age people. But secondly, and I love this reason, it shows that the war is still going on within them. They're still there. That's how it is, man. PTSD, it fucks with you, man. It's you're always there. It's flashbacks and it's remembering. You never leave the war.
And I even fucking interpreted that a little bit differently too, a little bit more. Like I was telling you, like
I liked yours too.
I looked at it as like these guys never, like they never left, but like their memories when they're thinking about them are from them as old men.
Old men, yep.
And they're not going to remember their youthful self necessarily. But Chadwick, that's where he was at.
Yep.
And that's why like they didn't need to, like when I first saw that, I thought actually right away, like I didn't even think about the de-aging thing. I just thought, oh, that's cool. He's looking at it like this, like they're telling the story because they're old men and they remember him, and he's paused in their lifetime then, but they're remembering it, so it makes sense to me,
right?
You know, so and that's kind of cool that I'm smarter than everybody.
Nobody thought that at all. But I know, I mean, it's a powerful film, you guys, and if you get a chance, it's on Netflix. Check it out.
Yes.
If you really, really enjoyed it, let us know on Twitter. Hop into the Discord. We got the Banter and Babble Discord. Hop in there, share your thoughts. We want to get your thoughts on this movie. Go in there, check it out, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah. I thought it was a great film. I thought it was an incredible film. I really hope it gets recognition during awards season.
Fucking better.
Because Spike Lee is just he just has a way of delivering messages that are powerful and they're relevant. And it's a movie that we need now, so it's definitely really, really good. Can confirm I did not think Tone was smarter than me. Nobody thought that, Cap. Nobody thought
you guys are mean.
Nobody thought that. Okay. That's the first movie we wanted to talk about.
That's the first movie.
And it's a good one. It's a great one. Next movie we're going to talk about. Completely opposite end of the spectrum.
Ooh-wee.
This one, it was probably about 3 weeks ago. I was sitting, I had just gone to bed, and I got a text from Piccolo, and he's like, hey, man, have you seen this trailer? And I was like, no, what is this? And it's called Becky. I'm like, okay. So I click on the trailer, and I watch it, and I'm like, oh, wow, Joel McHale's in this. Okay, that's weird. And the whole trailer plays through, and I'm like, okay, so these nutzos take this family hostage, and I'm like, okay, that might be cool. And then I was like, why did he send this to me? I mean, Joel McHale. And then I go back, and then I see the description. It says Joel McHale, Lulu Wilson, and Kevin James. And I'm like, what? Doug Heffernan, Kevin James from
Mall Cop.
Yeah, Paul Blart. And I'm like, no way. So I went around the trailer, and there's fucking Kevin James with a swastika on the back of his head and a huge Nazi beard. Yeah, and I was just like, what? And so immediately I was like, okay, because we've talked about this before. We love these movies where these funny guys jump into these different types of movies that are way outside their comfort zone. We saw it recently with Adam Sandler again with Uncut Gems. And so now we have Kevin James in an action thriller where he's like a neo-Nazi guy who escapes prison with this little entourage of brotherhood guys. And they basically kidnap this family. He's trying to find like this family heirloom or whatever, this key. And he kidnaps his family at this house that supposedly has a key in it. Little does Kevin James know, they have a daughter who's got all sorts of issues. I mean, and it's cool how they explore that. I mean, again, I like these movies that explain why these people...
What drives them.
Yeah. And this one just happens to be this girl that's evil Home Alone. It's Home Alone meets Saw. It's the best way to describe it. Home Alone meets Saw because, yeah, the girl's Home Alone, but she fucks people up. Like, really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
But first of all, I want to get your thoughts on what initial thoughts on this movie.
Well, I got this like kind of I really like to suspend my belief in movies,
and you kind of have to here.
And you kind of have to. And like we're talking about the evil Home Alone thing, that's a really good analogy for it. And honestly, like when you sent me the trailer, I'm like, all right, I'm getting this like very like comic book, comic booky almost vibe, and I mean that because like you got to really kind of stretch your imagination on it a little bit, because there's a kid and she's gonna fuck some people up, right?
She's 13.
And it's like the classic case: the bad guys come in, families and hostage and stuff like that, and like there's a lot of ways this could have went, and a lot of them I wouldn't have seen how it went because of the characters who got involved. Clearly, a 13-year-old girl, she's lost some things in her life, and she's got a lot of frustration. And
it couldn't have happened at the worst time. I mean, she's growing up, she's becoming a young woman.
Puberty, like the high school at the beginning, which I thought was interesting when you go back and think about that. And the two kids are in the hall fighting.
Yep.
It's almost like now when you think and you see the movie, you kind of almost get it because these kids at that age don't know how to like sometimes compartmentalize their emotions properly,
right?
Or whatever. So like, if you have a bad day and you're a kid, you know, you don't sometimes yes and no don't mean shit to you at that point. You just kind of go with it, and she kind of fucking goes with it. And dude, I'm telling you, like, this movie was enjoyable to watch. Like, I was having, like, it is a thriller. You're like, and I'm a gore guy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm a, like, we say Saw. I don't turn away from anything. I might clench my beer a little bit or my toes. I'm gonna watch it. And there's some scenes in this fucking movie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, there are some scenes in this movie that is some of the craziest gore shit I've seen in a long fucking time. And like in a long time. Like, I go back to Brightburn. There's a pretty awesome gore scene in that movie I fucking love. This one, borderline might take the cake on that in one of these scenes. It's fucking bloody as shit.
Yeah.
And like, so bottom line, fucking awesome movie. It's fucking awesome. These are the, like, we go from, you know, one movie to this movie like this, but, you know, I love a big emotional, heartfelt, like, thought process thinker.
Oh, yeah.
Those mean a lot to me. But I'm also very, like, I'm still perpetually a 14-year-old boy. Like, this calls to me.
See, and the thing
Violence.
I liked about this movie is it was very much like VFW when we saw the trailer. You knew what you were getting into.
Oh yeah, it's suspense. You
watch the trailer and you're like, okay, this is kind of goofy, but you know what? I'll watch this movie. I'll watch this. I'll watch the movie because, like you, I like action.
Yep.
I like people getting fucked up. And I like good acting in these types of movies, because this could have been a horribly acted movie. The line for the premise to have solid acting in these types of movies is kind of rare. But let's talk about it. You know, you see this poster behind us. I mean, you see Kevin James looks menacing, and you got LoLu Wilson, this 11-year-old girl who's just like, oh, here she is. And let me tell you something. If you don't know who LoLu Wilson is yet, you're going to.
You're going to.
Yes, Kevin James is in this movie. Yes, Joel McHale's in this movie. People that people know, and they have resumes that are huge. This girl owns this fucking movie.
She outacts every single other person in this movie. Now, like you said, there's big names in here.
Yep.
Like Kevin James, Joel McHale, et cetera, et cetera. She outacts the shit out of these people.
Oh, dude.
And it's like, it's so bad, it almost theoretically could make it like unfair to watch.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it is. It is. I think you're right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, because the other actors just don't, like, they're not bad actors, but she brought like some fucking A game from another planet, another dimension.
Oh, yeah.
At that age.
Yep. She chews up. Look
at her eyes.
Yeah,
look at her fucking eyes. Look at this shit.
She's so good. She's so convincing in this movie. And again, this is one of those movies. Again, you look at this premise. It's a low budget film. It's one that kind of slipped under the radar. And she comes into every scene, and she could have went extra campy. She could have gone super campy.
Be a kid,
dude. She fucking owned it. Like dude. You think Kevin James looks menacing there? She's fucking menacing in this movie. And, you know, we talked about this before the show. Like, look, I love comedy guys breaking off and doing something different.
Yeah.
And there's multiple scenes in this movie where Kevin James shows, he could do something like this. He could do something like this. I don't know if it was the direction he was given or just the choices he made, but every time I thought he was going to become the villain that we need in these types of movies, I'm a huge fan of villains. Okay, when I watch a movie where there's good guys and bad guys, I love the hero, especially when they're fleshed out and they have, you know, purpose. But I love a villain. Not so much, they don't have to be violent, but they got to have that charisma. Alan Rickman in Die Hard, arguably one of the greatest villains ever. Not only was he menacing and a horrible person, but he was so cool.
He's charismatic. Yeah,
he was charismatic.
Yeah,
Another one you look at, Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. A fucking psycho. But there was some endearing qualities about him.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he interacted with Clarice. You're just like, man, okay, he's got everything. Kevin James kind of gets those opportunities. And there's sometimes where I think he's so close. I'm like, be menacing. And then it just kind of turns into kind of like whatever moment.
It felt like an undercooked noodle sometimes.
Yeah, undercooked. And same goes with Joel McHale. Joel McHale's purpose is served in the movie.
Yeah, he
gets a couple of scenes where he gets to kind of show some range and stuff, but he's disposable at best. But he's good. He's good. He's fine.
He's Joel McHale.
But Kevin James, I felt like he had more of an opportunity to really fucking bring it home.
Yeah, he had like, I mean, clearly like the name's named Becky, right? So it's about Becky. For the most part.
The focus is on her.
Right,
and she kills it.
And she needs that. That's that tug of war.
Yep.
And it's like she's doing a lot of tugging, and he's just kind of like doing a little bit of moving. Like you got there was a lot of opportunity here, and I really wanted to see him like. Because he kind of fits that Farley kind of like.
Well, first of all, it doesn't help that he got tied in with Sandler. You know, once he got done with King of Queens, he was like in every Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
And nothing against Adam Sandler. I love Adam Sandler. I think some of his stuff in the 90s was brilliant. But then after that, once he got to that Netflix stuff and some of the other movies, they're fucking terrible movies. And everyone involved was kind of dragged down with it. And I thought the same thing with Kevin James. Was like, man, why is my man doing these movies? Like, one of the first movies he did that I thought he was gonna was, the name escapes, with Will Smith, where he's trying to like Will Smith is like a love doctor and he's trying to make Kevin James smooth.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know the note you're talking about.
Hitch.
Yeah,
there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like Kevin, he was funny in that movie. I was like, okay, cool. This guy, he's funny. His timing is good. He's good with his delivery. And then he went into the Adam Sandler group, and I'm just like, this guy, now your shit sucks, dude. Yeah. And so, you know, you see him kind of break off and do this movie. He's fine in it. I think he's good. I think he could have been great.
That's the best way to put it.
I think he could have been great.
Atomic, real quick. I bought this on Amazon Prime digitally. He could have been huge.
Oh yeah.
He had a lot of potential. He's like, he brought in these boys. He's got like a small clan with him. You know, they're tight. They broke out of prison. There's some scenes in there. Yeah, there's some crazy scenes in there that just gets fucking brutal as fuck. And like for a low budget, these fucking like gory ass scenes did not look low budget. Like whoever spent their money well, whoever was involved in all that, like makeup or art, the design, whatever that's called. Holy shit!
Yeah, they did go with that.
There's a gore scene in this movie where it's one of the fucking gnarliest shit I've seen.
It's what Tricky's alluding to there. And honestly, man, I know there's one scene in Brightburn, not the one you were talking about, but there's a scene in Brightburn where a girl gets like a piece of glass in her eye.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, when I watch movies, if it involves eyes, it's gonna bother me. Okay, it just bothers me because it's really creepy. Anyways, in Brightburn, she pulls a piece of glass out of her eye, and you're just like, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
Okay, pussy, cool.
So when a certain character in this movie has an accident with Becky, it's one of the most gruesome scenes I've seen in a long time. It is. It's gnarly. But there's a particular moment where they're trying to rectify the situation where I was just like, I can't. I was screaming. I was like, I can't fucking watch this because it was so horrible. But that's what they're going for in this movie. It's about the gore. It's about the violence. The way these individuals get dispatched is nothing short of just overkill. And that's the point of it.
And I think there is something to be taken away when you kind of dive deep about this kid, put where she's at, and she just continues to deal with like an uphill battle.
Yep.
And she, you know, the point is sometimes being a kid sucks.
Yeah.
And you'll have breaking points as a kid, and sometimes, you know what, like you don't know how to control yourself, or you might not, and that you just take the bet. I mean, honestly, if you're put in a corner, you're gonna come out swinging.
Right. Oh,
and that's just the bottom line.
Swinging. But dude, for the most part though, man, when this movie is over, it goes by quick. And that's how I know when a movie is good. That's how I know when a movie is good, when it goes by fast, because I'm fully invested. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. And from start to finish, it's an entertaining flick.
It's a very, very entertaining flick.
It's not going to win Oscars, even though she should be in the discussion to some degree. It's not going to win any Oscars, but it will entertain the hell out of you.
Yeah.
It's a violent Home Alone. That is the best way to describe it. A violent Home Alone meets Saw.
Yeah.
And if you got the stomach for it, and you like a good, just action thriller, it's fucking sweet. And she's incredible. Lulu Wilson is so good. There is a scene where she looks into the camera as she's talking on, I think it's when she's on a walkie-talkie. Yeah. She's talking to Kevin James. And it's the scene in the movie that cements her as a badass and just sets the stage for the rest of the movie.
It makes you forget you're dealing with a kid almost.
Yeah.
Like
she looks into the camera and she's like, there was once a girl who was really good. And when she was good, she was very good. but when she was bad, she was horrid. And the way she looks into the camera and smirks and then it blurs away, you just think yourself, you're like, okay.
Holy shit.
Yep, these guys are fucked.
Yep.
These dudes are grown-ass men about to get fucking wrecked by a 13-year-old. And it doesn't disappoint. It's you know what to expect. And it's just it's an entertaining movie, you guys. If you get a chance to check it out, I think it was $9.99 when I picked it up on iTunes. Probably the same. You might be able to rent it. Becky, Kevin James, Lulu Wilson, Joel McHale, definitely worth a look. I think we really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really surprising.
Check it out.
Another one of my favorite movies this year.
Movie I'm going to try to watch this weekend. You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried comes out this weekend. Didn't get a trailer. I forgot it came out this weekend, you guys. If you enjoyed Stir of Echoes.
I'm a big fan, by the way.
It's directed and written by the same guy that did Stir of Echoes.
Big fan.
Kevin Bacon, his girlfriend, and his daughter move into a house out in the middle of nowhere. He's a writer. Things start to go haywire. It goes crazy. It looks really, really good. If you get a chance, go over to YouTube, look up You Should Have Left. It should be available tomorrow on digital and on demand. That's what I'm going to be watching this weekend.
And it's rated R. And I want to thank all of you writers and directors out there in Hollywood who are doing rated R movies more consistently.
Keep it real.
Keep it messy. Thank you.
Keep it R-rated for sure.
Give me that R.
20 minutes until the drawing for the next Funko Pop. I put Funk Pop figure. I'm such an idiot.
What a loser.
Such an idiot. 20 minutes. Exclamation point enter. If you're watching on Mixer, exclamation point enter. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, I know you are. Get over to Mixer. The link's below. Click on it. Come on over. Hit exclamation point enter. We want you to get involved in the drawing. All right. Moving on to something I know. You know what? We're going to talk about one thing first, briefly, because I want to give you your time to shine. We're going to jump into a game that comes out this Friday.
I've never heard of it.
We're going to talk a little bit about The Last of Us 2. We haven't played it. No spoilers. I haven't looked at any. I've been able to avoid spoilers like crazy. But I'm excited for this game. It has nothing to do with the fact that it just scored like a 96 on Metacritic.
9.5s and 10s.
It's been hailed as...
There's lists all over.
It's a masterpiece.
Someone is, like, they're saying, like, you know, because you got games like God of War out there and Horizon Zero Dawn and these big titles with huge narrative, story development. And let's be honest, Last of Us is, like, really one of the more modern, like, 2013 is when it came out on the PS3, right? 2013, because right before the PS4 dropped.
Yep.
You know, the Uncharted series has great dialogue, great cinematics, great character development. Like, I'm a big fan of that series too. This is very next level. Like, The Last of Us generally was very like cinema. They're saying this one really, yes, Ashley Johnson's amazing voice actor. She's fantastic. They're saying this is like, they're saying this is like a benchmark for like storytelling video games, like in this kind of vein, like the action, like the whatever. So some of the stuff I've seen is very exciting. So I have avoided all leaks and spoilers as well too.
Yep.
Thankfully, you know, there's a lot of fanboys out there in some circles that are circle jerking to a bunch of negative things to it, and a lot of people are upset because of they think they're wedging social justice shit in there. I just wish these people would shut the fuck up so we can enjoy stuff and just move on with their life and play some shit and have a good time.
Right.
So I'm very excited to play it. I know you're excited to play it. You're going to be streaming it this Friday, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. That's one of the things as a streamer, you know, it's hard for me to stream single player games because I'm invested in this, especially specifically this game. I'm invested in these characters. Okay, I love The Last of Us. The first one was fucking amazing. I cried in the first 10 minutes, and it was simply because I just had a kid like 8 months prior to that. So I was like, you know, I kind of understood the whole protect my kid. I want to do everything I can to make sure he's always safe. And then I go and play this game, and the first 10 minutes, I'm fucking crying my eyes out. You know, it was incredibly just a powerful opening scene to this game, and it sets up Joel as a character, and it really kind of is the catalyst between his relationship with Ellie throughout the entire game. So now we move into The Last of Us 2. I've avoided the spoilers. Like you said, there's already people have issues with Ellie and her sexual origin and whatnot, and it's just like, leave it the fuck alone. She's a badass character,
dude,
okay?
I
love this character.
Can't stand that shit.
Shut up. People are bitching about that, and then with the leaks, apparently there's story choices.
Somebody tried to fucking ruin that for me this week, and I was so fucking mad. I'm like, dude, this fucking.
And the thing is, man, like
turn me nuts.
And I've avoided the leaks, and everyone's just like, "Wow, the story kind of takes a turn that you don't expect." That's what I want.
Well, the lady that said this shit to me, I'm like, so when you buy a fucking book, you go skip to the end and read the end of it,
right?
And I caught her fucking like a deer in headlights when I said that. So you buy a book, you skip to the end and read the ending,
right?
Well, blah blah. She did some blah blah. I said that's what I thought. Like that's not how that works,
right?
Right. But come on.
March, yes, it was confirmed the first time. I think it was the first time we saw. I think there was a scene in what was the Last of Us? What was the expansion? Not that came out. There was a little DLC that kind of explored Ellie's.
I know what you're talking about. But
I can't remember. I played it. It's actually really, really good. March
came out on PS4.
Yeah, there's like what I saw wasn't for me, but hey, that's okay, and that's fine. And Rock, man, that's cool, man. I didn't. Whatever the reason is, I would prefer an unexpected ending or something like that as opposed to Left Behind. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate it, buddy. Seth over on YouTube. It's called Left Behind. It is really, really good. But like it's I would prefer Naughty Dog take a chance. I don't need everything wrapped up fucking nice and neat. I don't need a predictable ending.
I just don't. I want to be challenged. That's what it comes down to for me. So Han dies in episode 7 of Casey. Right.
What's up, Michael?
Whoa,
Chance, what's going on?
What up, dude? Sammy Justice. Yeah. So I'm luckily have managed to stay away from all that stuff. So Rock, it might not be your dig. That's cool. You get it. For me, I'm excited. I don't know what to expect, and that's kind of what I want. And yes, March. The first trailer actually showed of Last of Us about 2 or 3 years ago. It actually also explored the fact that she's gay. So, some people are
interesting too to point out. There was somebody on I can't remember, but somebody wrote a review for The Last of Us 2, and the headline of the review was, "The game was spoiled for me. I knew what was supposed to happen going in. I still wasn't prepared for how great this game was."
Yeah.
So despite knowing what was going on ahead of time, it was spoiled for them. They read into it. It was still one of the best games they ever played.
Yeah, everybody is saying that it's very emotionally engaging.
It's emotionally engaging and wholly violent. I don't know if you saw the trailer where Ellie kills the lady that's playing the PlayStation Vita.
Hell yeah.
She's playing, dude, let her play the Vita, dude. She's one of the last 5 people playing the fucking thing.
Right.
Come on, Ellie.
But one's in a safe somewhere. I'm a huge fan of violence, so I don't fucking care.
Obviously. But no, like I'll be streaming this on Friday. Still trying to figure out, excuse me, wow, these beers are cray-cray.
Oh.
Still trying to figure out how I'm going to approach this because, as I was mentioning earlier, when I stream, and maybe I can get your guys' thought in the chat. If you're watching right now and you like to watch streamers play through single-player games, my thing is, when I play a single-player game, I am focused.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the narrative.
Gorp face.
I'm gorp-faced like crazy. I'm watching cutscenes. I'm taking it all in. I'm playing the game as I think the characters would react in these situations. I'm playing it how I want to play it. And it's very difficult for me sometimes to stream those because I'm not paying attention to the chat. And I think, I actually reached out to a lot of the Tater Tot boys in the WhatsApp today, got a lot of good feedback, and I think the approach I'm going to do is kind of like a play it through a chapter, play it from chapter to chapter, and in between each chapter, stop for like 5 minutes and kind of talk about what's going on.
Right.
What are our characters doing? Where's the story headed? What do I think is going on? Talk a little bit about the gameplay. Because I feel like, if people come in to watch these types of games, I think of them as the same way I do when I go to a movie. Shut the fuck up and let me watch what's going on. So I'll shut up during the game, play it, maybe talk a little bit about what I'm doing, But for the most part, just really take it all in. And then when the chapter ends, that's like the intermission. All right, let's talk about what just happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's talk a little bit about this. Engage with the people who are watching, because there are people who come to like YouTube and Twitch and Mixer just to watch the games.
Just want to watch the game.
They're there to just watch the games. And I feel like those are the people that I will best entertain, because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm watching the fucking
you're trying
game.
to soak it up.
So I think that's what I'm going to do on Friday night, is just play it from chapter to chapter, in between chapters, talk about what's going on.
I think you should do that.
Because that way I can focus on the game, really take it in, see where this goes.
I probably won't be able to watch you that night, though, because I gotta. Sorry.
Yeah, you are sorry. You are sorry.
I'm going to be playing it.
I know you are, but you can at least tune in and like.
I'll mute it. Okay, I'll mute it. Well, I don't want to watch anything.
No, but God, you're a shitty friend, dude. I'm asking you not to play the game so you can watch me play the game. All right.
What the fuck?
So The Last of Us 2 drops on Friday. You're checking it out. You guys and girls are excited about it. We want to hear your thoughts on it. Where are we at on the drawing? There it is.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Next 10 minutes.
If you just showed up, exclamation point, enter.
If you've entered before and won, don't.
Exclamation point, enter. Zombie says, don't enter. Don't enter.
Rock Mercury.
There it is. Luigi's in.
You piece of trash.
I hope Luigi wins now, because then Zombie and Luigi can fight. So that'd be cool. It's my B-Day week.
It is our B-Day week. I still got your pop with me too, Rock.
Exclamation point, enter. 10 minutes. The next winner for who get no, Michael. You got to come over to Mixer.
You got to come to Mixer, bro, to get into that giveaway.
Michael, you got 10 minutes.
Get 10 minutes.
Start up a Mixer account.
Download
Super
that app.
easy.
Download it.
And get over here and get in, buddy. Seriously, get over here and get into it. We appreciate you.
Sammy Justice.
All right, now to talk about the shit you want to talk about. The game you a little excited about. The game that Sony broke 3 months ago and Microsoft broke earlier last week on their stores because they couldn't hold their wads.
Nobody holding wads.
Nobody holding wads for Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh, shit.
Here you go, Tone. You've been asking for something that focuses on this.
So I've known Drastin for about 20 years.
Unfortunately.
And one of the things that we've talked about for about 20 years is like, will they ever remake TIE Fighter from the PC or do something? Or even fucking Rogue Squadron, because Rogue Squadron on GameCube, for the record, is an amazing fucking game. Beautiful fucking game. Rogue Squadrons are fucking dope as shit. Yep, Hera, right? And now we're getting a fucking squad-based dogfighting Star Wars shooting game. And I have a Thrustmaster, not the PP, but the stick for the PS4 that I hope is going to be
You're a fucking sick bastard.
that apparently is also fully PSVR compatible,
Yes.
and I hope comes to the Quest. We'll talk about that sometime down the road, hopefully.
Yep.
Man, I am so fuck, because let's be honest, like when Rock, me, and Drastin and the crew play some fucking Star Wars Battlefront, we don't get to a lot of the Starfighter. I love playing the Starfighter, but it's also fucking it's much better compared to the last one, but we need more. Like, it's one of my favorite modes in Battlefront, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
We just need more, and this is going to be more. And it's going to be cross-play, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be only $40. A lot of the stuff you can buy sounds like cosmetics, so there's
no microtransactions.
No microtransactions. I'm sorry, wait, time out. EA, what?
EA has come out and confirmed no microtransactions. No MTXs.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
No microtransactions.
Somebody at EA fell asleep because that's not like them. The one thing I always hate is when right here, look at that. Do you see EA right in the middle of that?
I know. Grow up.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I'm excited because there's so much there that they could do. We got a Dash Rendar. Yep, he was talking about that recently. Yeah, that would be dope, bro. But that's also not canon anymore, so we probably won't see that. But that would be fucking sweet to see the Outrider. He's a huge fan of Dash Rendar. But it looks like right now we're gonna be able to squad with 5 people, 5v5. And then some of the things that I took away from it, clearly we saw Hera in it. Hera's from Rebels. They have squints. They have eyeballs. They have Y-wings. They have what else am I missing? Do they have a B-wing? Did I not see a B-wing in there? Because I really would love to pilot a B-wing. We've not got enough B-wing. No B-wing? Well, then I don't want to play anymore.
B-wing.
No, fuck it.
yet.
It's only $40.
October 2nd, I believe, is
October
the date.
2nd. Yep. So some of the cosmetic stuff that's already kind of like bummed me out is the yellow stripe for what's the yellow stripe for Drassen and Rock? What's that? Is that the Imperial Aces? I think it is. Is that what they call it? Like in the X-Wing game and shit too. Yeah, Imperial Aces. Now back in the old canon, we used to have that red stripe along it for the 181st. Baron Suntarfell, one of the all-time greatest ace pilots for the Imperial Army. But the yellow stripe's cool. Hopefully the cosmetic's gonna be dope. I'm excited. I'm fucking so excited. Like, I know it's a $40 fucking game and it's just gonna be dogfight and multiplayer online.
Well, we are gonna. It will have a campaign. I'm expecting this to be a short campaign. I don't expect this to be like a full-on campaign.
Right.
I do want to get you guys' thoughts on this though, because there was a lot of discussion
Yeah.
about this on social media.
Yeah.
Are you guys happy with this just being 5v5?
It's a start, like, because the thing is, like, when you're playing Battlefront, for instance, when you're playing squad, whatever it's called, you have like 20 some people,
Right.
But this is gonna make it so you can focus better as a squad, because now it's going to be more like TIE fighters, for instance. Normally their squad pattern is it's 4, and so 5, you could have theoretically like a TIE advance, so Vader's or something. You could like ride a squad of 4 or whatever. But I guess I didn't think about it a whole lot because I'm so excited of the fact that it is just a fucking awesome Star Wars. Like, if they can really flesh out a really good dogfighting Star Wars space sim or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
then I'm fine with 5v5. Honestly, I am. Like, it would be cool eventually if you could have like a big ass fucking star battle, and who knows what their plans are for it. At $40, it's hard telling. I'm just excited that even anything like this is happening.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, that's the bottom line for me. And it takes place during Jedi, so it's not the controversial sequel trilogy, and it's not sometimes a controversial prequel.
More of a
trilogy.
safe zone.
It's a safe zone because everybody wants to get in a fucking X-wing or like a squint or an eyeball, which is what we call TIE fighters and stuff like that. So, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, did I see Wedge in the trailer?
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was. I was like, man, it looks like Wedge. Looks like Wedge. It's only $40. So I'm not expecting much, but it'll be fun. No, yeah, it's gonna have a full on campaign, but I expect that to be short. I expect the focus to be on multiplayer because that's what people want. But no, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, it comes out October 2nd. And the fact that it's cross-play with everything, VR as well, be on PlayStation VR. We know it's going to be on PC VR. So we can't confirm what, obviously that doesn't include, I don't think that includes Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
But if you get the cable and it is on Oculus Rift or S, you can use that cable and play it.
That's true.
Because like that's how I can play Half-Life. That's how I can play it, because I have that cable. So I can connect it to my computer, which isn't a bad thing, because obviously the cool thing about Quest is you don't have wires. You can walk around. But if you're in a TIE fighter, you're not walking around. You're sitting down anyway. So I can just sit in my chair, hook up to my PC, and play the game in VR on PC if I want to play that with like the higher fidelity and whatnot.
And it's kind of like a rock and a hard place with me, because I don't have PSVR stuff right now because I got them to upgrade to the Quest.
Yep.
But I also have a stick. So like when I was playing EVE on Valkyrie Online, I had VR and stick, and I was like completely into the fucking game. So to me, I'm okay with not having VR for right now, as long as I can play flight stick.
Right.
That's fucking dope too. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. This was a pretty. It wasn't a surprise reveal. What's that?
He said that stick is actually probably PC compatible. I think it might.
I would hope so. I would hope it would be. A lot of those things, man, you can just plug in and it just registers.
Plug and play.
Hopefully that is, because that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, this wasn't really a surprise. I mean, we're awesome to see it, but I mean, seriously, this was hilarious because like 3 months ago, this originally leaked on the PlayStation Store. Like somebody logged into the PlayStation Store and they saw the Star Wars Squadron and was like, "What the fuck is this? What is this game? EA Motive?
Didn't it have like a fucking like a Star Destroyer or something? I swear I remember
something weird like
that.
Everyone was like, "What is this fucking game?" And then it was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, what was that? What's going on?" And then earlier last week,
everybody forgot about
on the Microsoft Xbox Store, there's Star Wars Squadron again. And EA's got to be like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah, it was like
Can
2
we
days
announce
later.
our
They
game?
around. Yeah, it was like 2 days later. They said, "Well, here comes our announcement."
I mean, seriously, EA's got to be like, "Guys, seriously,
address.
Can we announce this fucking game our way or not?" But no, this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a really cool game. $40. October 2nd is when it comes out. Is that gonna be before next gen consoles or after? And will there be a next gen console version? Hope so.
That's a great question. Those are a lot of great questions.
Good looking question, Aguado. Yeah. I dig it. But no, overall, a lot of excitement here. A lot of people were excited. I know you're excited for it. I know you want to talk about it. Should be a lot of fun. I'll probably bitch about the flight controls much like I did in Battlefront 2. I just bitched all day because I couldn't stay in the flight controls.
Yeah, well, the fucking Battlefield fucking Battlefront controls for vehicles are fucking stupid. They need to let you fine tune a little bit deeper. Change them up. I don't want to use a stick as a throttle. Like, what the fuck is that?
I couldn't
even make any sense.
I don't know when we made this transition over to that type of flight control.
Stupid.
But I'm pissed I wasn't consulted on it.
I mean, I'll play flight controls all day. I'm always going to be down is up is down for flight going.
Man,
but the throttle with the fucking stick.
When they started playing, I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's fucking stupid.
Why can't I just use the trigger, one of the triggers to throttle?
Or a bumper.
Or a button, or anything. I mean,
anything.
It was super annoying. I couldn't get into it, and I just bitched all day. And
oh, shit!
Are you serious?
There's the fucking giveaways done.
March wins.
Oh, shit.
She claimed right away.
Oh, man. Well, all right. So let's bring them back up. Let's take a look. All right.
We're going to head back over here. Let's take a look. March. Your choices are Notorious B.I.G., Elton John, Deku, and Mossman.
Uh-oh.
If she takes it, Zombie's gonna fight.
Zombie's gonna fucking
fight. And I will pay for that.
I'm ready for this fucking. All right,
to see that fight.
March, what you thinking? March? You feeling something?
Notorious B.I.G. I think you should get.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, flip that table, Zombie. Flip it good, girl.
Wow.
She wants Biggie. Now you didn't mean Elton John, right? You meant Notorious B.I.G.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Zombie had to sit through all this bullshit and not get it. Oh my fucking god.
We're gonna see Zombie has unfollowed and blocked your channel.
Yeah.
I got angry cat.
Zombies reported us to fucking Mixer.
Do you think that that in the PS5, Xbox Series X generation we'll be able to map buttons in games to what we want? It's funny you mentioned that. There is a game, Destiny just added that option to their game.
Nice.
Where you can change all the buttons. You can map everything. And I think on PlayStation, and I'm sure it is on Xbox too, you can change the function system-wide, but it's kind of, depends on what the game is if you want to do that. But on Destiny, you can actually change and map all the buttons.
That's fucking wild. I
didn't
know
they
that.
just added that recently. What are we looking at here?
Well, there's some nice stuff going on. So we want to point that out real quick.
And send it to Zombie for
March 1, but wants us to send it to Zombie because she wanted it so bad.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Wow.
Did
Paul just commit?
He did.
Hey, March, if you want Biggie, head over to Fets Depot on Facebook.
Give him a chitty chat.
Maybe get hooked up. He's got them all. Look at that. Unflips table and sets it down gently. You want me to send it to Zombie, March? Because I will.
Zombie, can't you see?
All right,
somehow
March.
Your words just
there it is, confirmed.
Me.
Zombie, if you want to, head over or WhatsApp, send us where you want us to send it.
Discord DM me.
Discord, wherever.
Slide into my DMs.
Don't slide into that DM. That's just
give me that address.
This is really good, by the way.
I was trying to get to it, so I'm gonna switch because I wanted to talk about this with you real quick.
Oh my god. Oh, talking about what? This, dude, I'm buzzed up. I fucking love it.
How smooth, creamy. Now it's a little bit warmer. I got a little German in me, so I don't mind the warm beers.
Dude, it's
so
an
much.
Oatmeal stout.
It's delicious, ain't it?
I'll never say no to an oatmeal anything.
He'll never say no to oatmeal.
I love some oatmeal, especially an oatmeal cream pie.
Oh man,
I fucking love a cream pie.
Mama getting silly over here.
All right. Oh, I have one left. All right.
Yeah, Cat.
We have one thing we want to talk about.
What is that? I don't remember what's going on. What are we
got some wrestling news we're going to talk about.
Rock Mercury, you still out there? Did Rock leave?
He probably should leave because
Rock Mercury over.
Let's see. I think he left.
Rock Mercury.
Well, hey, what we're going to talk about, what we saw last night on Impact Wrestling. We had our good friend Rohit Raju on this show
Yes.
back in, I think it was February, because we had a couple months off from the COVID.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Rohit Raju was on this show, and last time we saw Rohit before last night, he had a good battle, he had a good fight, and then he got gored by Rhino at the end of the, unexpectedly.
Yes.
And there I'm watching, I'm just like, all right, dude, this is bullshit. Rhino just runs up and gores fucking Rohit. That's bullshit. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Rohit's going to come out. He's going to fucking dominate. And he started strong. Not only did he start strong, he was amazing throughout the entire fight.
The entire fucking match, he carried the entire fucking match with the highest of intensity and energy that you don't usually see unless you're one of the most electrified wrestlers of all time. And he came out there and he brought the fucking thunder like he's a goddamn Odin's son. And what's going on out here? Doing all the work, right? Doing all the work. Whipping this fucking old-ass grandpa's ass past his fucking prime. And I do love you, Rhino. Don't get me wrong. But come on. Fucking Detroit's own.
Detroit's Rhino.
Yup.
Respect.
But you know what? He's an endangered species. And we're trying to make him extinct because the Desi Hitman is on a fucking mission, bro. And he's out here and he's whipping his ass. Like, Rhino does like 3 things. Rhino sweat thinking about having to wrestle against Rohit.
I mean, seriously, Rohit did everything.
Literally.
He was the fight.
Look at this shit. He's whipping his... And then all of a sudden, oh, okay, here's a little something. I got something. I did something. Oh, there's a move. You need to take a break, have some water.
I know that. I know
yeah,
that smarts.
like the entire fucking thing.
That
like,
one
what's
hurt too.
These fucking clotheslines and shit. Oh, sweet. And then, right, there you go. Classic. We love that. There's a fucking knee right to the fucking skull.
This is my favorite right here. I love this.
Oh, dude. What do you call that, Rock? What do you call that, by the
Rock,
way?
what is that move, dude?
What do you call that?
That thing's sexy, dude. I love that.
Huge fan of that.
Cap, knock it off.
250-year-old.
He's not quite 50 yet.
Oh, shit.
And there it is.
Like, come on.
That's it?
Come on. And that's it?
Yeah.
He had too much conditioner in his hand. right. So that's it. So here's the thing. And I'm going to try and keep this calm. Yeah, real calm.
Oh, boy.
Try and keep this real calm. So, corner cannonball. Okay, awesome. Love the fucking corner cannonball. We're going to keep it real simple for right now. We're going to put you on Watch Impact. You have one of the most underrated, super talented wrestlers on your fucking roster. And do I know the guy? I don't really like him, but I know him. But he's a
scumbag.
He's a scumbag, don't get me wrong. He has more heart, works hard.
Conviction.
Promos better than probably 90% of anybody, if not all of them in that fucking locker room. I don't even fucking care at this point.
Boom.
You're going to build him as a Desi Hitman because he's been, carrying his Desi squad for a while. There better be an ends throughout this means. Right? A means to the end, is that right?
Means to an end, yes.
I say that right?
Means to an end, the other way.
You get the point. Whatever.
You got it. I got what you're saying.
We're flipping it. We don't care. One of the two. Because otherwise, this is weak building, and it's a waste of my time, his time, all of your time, and anybody that fucking watches Twitch. But most importantly, it's a waste of Rohit Raju's time.
And his talents.
Very well said. And his talents. You're wasting our fucking time. We got a pay-per-view coming up soon. When's the pay-per-view, Rock? When's the pay-per-view? Because we're going to be watching that pay-per-view. We'll wait for a minute.
Got to know when this is going down.
Because we got to know when that pay-per-view is coming out. Because if we come out of this pay-per-view and it's same bullshit where he's jobbing again, you no longer on notice. I'm going to torch you. And then I'm going to share it.
Oh, boy.
All over. I'll be looking at Tony Khan.
Rock, I tried to
AEW.
keep July 18th. There it is. Okay.
July 18th. So we're coming up. We're getting real close to this PPV. We got to have something. Stop wasting our fucking time. We told you a long time ago on Twitter and everywhere else, get him a fucking mic. You gave him a fucking mic. AEW knows. They fucking know.
AEW knows everything.
AEW fucking knows.
Yep.
They're sitting on gold. You don't give him his fucking gold, I ain't watching your shit anymore.
Oh, wow.
I'm done. Now, I'll try to watch your Heat Jake something when I can, but I'm gonna be fucking done with this shit because it's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of his time and everybody else that watches it. Don't give me these weak ass builds for shit.
Oh,
The end.
and you know, look, man, like
And that's the nice version.
I just started watching a lot of this stuff recently, but you know, I remember what I enjoyed about when I was younger, and I watched that fight, and I was just like, man, it's hey.
Don't build
It's
him
night
as
and
the,
day.
you're building him as he says he's the Desi Hitman.
Yeah.
And he comes out and jobs to fucking Gramps. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
The end.
I mean, it was one of those things, man, when I'm watching this thing, and I was like, there's for the way it ended, I was just like, dude, come on, man.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure Rhino has been around for a while, and I get it. I respect it. I respect
it is
Rhino.
no
I
disrespect
respect
to Rhino. No.
But when I watch this shit, dude, when I watch these dudes go at it, I'm looking at the energy.
Yep.
I'm looking at the people who are really into it. And Rohit Raju was into it. He was battling. He's fighting. He's got the showmanship.
Yeah.
And when it ended, I was just like,
listen, we get it. Rhino, I do. I have respect for Rhino. Like, all clowning aside, I do love Rhino.
Yes.
He's Detroit. He's been all over on the indies.
he still got him. He can get out there and do his thing.
I'm just talking specifically about don't do this shit. Like, I'm sick and tired of some of these guys, and he's not the only one. Rohit's not the only one, but there's a lot of people that just gets fucking jobbed because they don't know where they want to go with them. Well, there's a fucking federation out there called AEW that lets people fucking build themselves and be themselves. And so he's talking about that tweet today. I fucking tweeted at Tony Khan today. Cody Rhodes has been saying, hey, anybody from any federation want to come wrestle me? And, you know, Cody ain't listened to me very often. He's liked one of my tweets once, one of my claims of fame. But, you know, today I'm just like, fuck it, because Tony Khan's pretty active on Twitter too. So I tagged Rohit and both Jake something and said basically like, hey, if you need some awesome talent, there's two guys I know that ain't getting pushed that fucking deserve the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because Impact ain't doing shit with them.
Yeah. I gotta put my. All right, Mars. Thanks for stopping by, girl. I appreciate you.
Woosah. I tried to keep it calm, Rock. That's the best I got, man. I'm just trying. You know, that ain't bad. That was pretty civil, right?
You know, Rock. I came in. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm gonna try to trigger him. Sorry, I didn't want to, but I had to.
You did say you were gonna try and trigger me.
I said I was gonna try to trigger him. I'm a prick like that.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
But you know, it is what it is. But no, looking forward to it. July 18, Slammiversary. That'll be the big pay-per-view event. Let's see what happens then. Make sure you guys follow Rohit Raju, a.k.a. or at Hakeem Zayn.
Yes, Twitter.
On Twitter.
Instagram. Check out his Facebook. Also, make sure that if you want to catch him on some matches here or there as well, Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/Impact Wrestling. Let's stop wasting our time, Impact. Stop wasting all our time, Impact.
What does Chance had to say?
That's getting to, yeah, he's right. I mean, I want to be careful because I want to just be this smart mark over here because I get it, but kayfabe just doesn't exist anymore generally. Excuse me, because of social media. You're right. It makes no sense, Chance. If they're trying to do anything to build the Desi Hitman doesn't job to somebody who's been wrestling for a long ass fucking time out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless there is going to be.
That's the only thing I could think of. Like
that's what I'm hoping for.
That's what I'm thinking.
There better be a pathway because
the way I was thinking, I was like, they're building to it. They're building to it.
Let's hope.
That's what I would want to see.
Either you feud with Rhino or there's more to come after it, but let's hope. At Hakeem Zayn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, guys. Give him a follow.
He's amazing. He's energetic. Yep. He's got that charisma. He's not as sexy as me, but he's pretty badass, dude. He's pretty badass.
I'm trying to keep a straight face on that shit.
He's pretty badass. Not as sexy as me, but pretty badass.
Right.
But one thing you want to talk about? Yes.
So I'm gonna actually have to pull this out because I want to make sure I get the details right. As always, we want to first and foremost thank Fets Toy Depot for sponsoring our Funko Pop giveaway. And Zombie, like I said, holler at me. I'll get that shit to you as well as soon as I can. Fets is really good at working with people. Clearly, he's great with working with us, and we appreciate it. If you live locally in the is it Raju Zayn for Insta? There you go, Rock. There you go. You guys follow him, please. If you are local in the Tri-Cities here, the Fets Toy Depot has done a collaboration with Bearded Axe here that just opened up on Gratiot here in Shields.
Yep.
It is an axe throwing spot. You can go in there,
Awesome.
pay some money, throw some axes, and hang out. So I don't know. I'm gonna guess there might not be booze there, but at the very least, you want to throw some axes. If you have the time, Monday, June 29th, I believe it's the Monday.
Yes.
At a 10 p.m. We will, so 6 to 10, excuse me, 6 to 10. We're going to be there throwing some axes with Fets Toy Depot. If you mention Fets at any time, going to Bearded Axe, 10% off.
10% off.
10% off.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So mention Fets Toy Depot sent you to Bearded Axe. You're going to get 10% off. That's really exciting. So I'm going to try and make it out there that night to hang out with Fets and throw some axes and have a good time.
I'm definitely going.
If anybody's in the Tri-City area or close, or hey, shit, if you live in fucking Flint or 3 hours away, want to hang out and grab a beer before or after, let's do it. Throw some axes, hang out with our buddy. Good time. So I'm excited because honestly, I haven't thrown an axe in a long time because I haven't been to the Renaissance Festival in a long time. And if you've ever thrown there, it's a good time. I do like throwing some axes. I'm a big fan.
I've never done the throwing axe thing. I've never done the throwing axe
for
thing.
Axing. What up, Panic?
You guys head over here to that's the link to Fets Toy Depot. Go over there, check it out, follow it, like it. He's awesome.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And he's the reason we're able to do these giveaways for the Funko Pop figures. We really, really appreciate him. We want to see him thrive. We want to see him grow. Like you said, he's got this new brick and mortar. He's got a spot. Go over there and check it out. June 29th. 6 to 10, Fets Toy Depot. Head on over there. It's going to be wild, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to throw axes at you. That's what we do.
Very nice.
I'll do it around you like you do in the cartoons.
Yeah,
around
I'll hold an apple on my head.
Yeah, I got you covered, baby. I got you covered.
Sweet. I'm into that.
But that is going to do it for tonight's show.
Already?
I know. We had a lot of good stuff to talk about, though, man. And you guys, seriously, Defy Bloods, Netflix.
Gotta see it.
Becky, iTunes.
Gotta see it.
Amazon Prime, $9.99. Check them out. Awesome movies. You can be streaming it all this weekend?
I am doing a lot of revamping, and I probably won't be streaming. I'll probably be playing Last of Us 2, but I won't be streaming. If I do, check my social medias, but maybe Sunday at the very...
Yeah, we're making some changes. We're making some changes to like our personal streams. A lot of cool stuff going on. Exciting times, but yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do it. So we're definitely working on that. I'll be live Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, playing through The Last of Us 2 in a kind of a different format where I'm just going to play through the chapters, talk about each chapter afterwards with everyone in the chat. If you're tuning in, love to see you there. But I understand if you're watching the streamers for the conversation throughout the stream, probably won't get that. But I just want to let you guys and girls know right now. Going to do a little bit differently for The Last of Us 2.
Sure, yeah.
Just so I can enjoy the game and still have a meaningful conversation with those of you that are able to tune in. So, for Fanboy Tone, I'm the Dude 79. Thank you so much for tuning in to Banter and Babble. We'll see you soon. Night, everybody.